So before I start the video, I realized that I think we were all so nervous that none of us really introduced ourselves. My name is Brittany. I am the DM. The players of this game are actually going to be Steven, Alex, Sam, and Jerry, three of which have been DMing for several years now. That's Alex, Steven, and Jerry. Sam, we are trying to convince to DM one day. But essentially, I had another group that I played with for about a year that I DM'd for. And then I did a couple of one-shots with these guys. But this is kind of my first full-size campaign. It is built off of the intro to Ravnica, or the Ravnica GM's Guide, Krenko's Way. So there is a little bit that you'll probably know about somewhat if you're listening and you've bought the book yourself. But I've made a lot of adjustments and a little bit of changes so that it would be a little longer of a campaign than just a one-shot. And yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I hope you enjoy it, or just enjoy listening to us. We've tentatively titled this Puns and Dragons because that's what my Instagram is called. And also, we make a lot of really dorky jokes. So, I guess I start, right? Hey.
Yeah.
Please do.
No recap.
No, there's no recap. So you all kind of live around the 10th district in Ravnica. It's pretty much a hub of constant activity, offers a whole lot of new opportunities, challenges, and a lot of intrigue. It's a place where a promising adventurer like yourself could find a path to glory, riches, power. But for most of you, you'll need a job that would actually help you prove your worth. And I guess for the four of you, today is your lucky day. And so what I want to do here is I kind of want to give a moment. There's a document that I'm going to be giving to all of you through introducing sort of your characters. I talked to you all a little bit about that before we started. Mm-hmm. All right, so we start with Cambria the Trog. Living on the edge of Ravnica is pretty hard, but Cambria has learned to love it. And after her ex, Nurak, disappeared into the dust, she decided to take his advice and go back to the 10th district. Specifically Precinct 4, which she hasn't been to since she was kicked out. It's not a quiet district, and fights break out constantly between Boros and Gruul, between goblin gangs, between Izzet experiments, and whoever is unlucky enough to run into an Izzet experiment. The district is full of ramshackle tenements, a few Boros fortresses, and a lot of labs. But Cambria's come here for one reason, and that is to visit the Red Wastes, a rubble belt to the north of the precinct filled with gutted buildings, debris-ridden streets, and a general wasteland filled with Gruul coming and going, and a couple persistent citizens that have refused to move out. It's in the Red Waste that we find Cambria now, in one of the few bars in Precinct 4 that isn't owned by Rakdos and is just for the Gruul. As you come up to the door, the place is empty, dark, and a Gruul bartender nods your way.
Oh, do I pick up?
Yep.
All right, so I kind of look back at the door that I just came through. Do I have any trouble getting through doors and stuff?
No, there's a lot of centaurs in the Red Waste and Gruul to begin with.
Yeah.
So what's the vibe in here? Like, is it scary, like cinder block kind of bar where it's all locals, or is this like, does it seem pretty cordial? Or is this like, what I'm trying to say?
Well, it's in a pretty much mostly destroyed building. Mm-hmm. There's actually kind of like holes in the ceiling. You can actually see there are a couple humans sitting in like the corners, kind of to themselves. But mostly it looks like, people wearing Gruul coloring. You notice some people from different clans that you've heard of. None of the clan that you were a part of. People are just kind of sitting. I would say it's not a cool place to hang out, but it's definitely more of a like calm and relaxing vibe.
Good. All right, so I make my way towards the bar, where the barkeep is, and I say, "Hey, fella, just a beer to start."
He nods your way and he gives you a beer. It's pretty
Cool.
simple. He says, we only have one type.
Well, one type is all I need. Hey, there's a lot of people in here. Is that usually how it is?
A lot of people come through. You just don't want to be here when they let the animals out. That's a little weird.
Animals?
You're gruel, so you should understand that sometimes our other brethren like to set loose wild animals in the red wastes.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
the humans usually run here to hide. So they don't get
Right.
eaten.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Totally, completely understand. Yeah.
Then it's packed.
But riddle me this, barkeep.
Sure.
Do I match the description of someone you're looking for?
You kind of do. You're the nomad, right?
Well, I guess nomad is a nice way to put it.
Listen, I don't keep up with the gossip. But somebody told me that you'd be coming through. And he walks over to his bar and he picks up a piece of kind of crinkled up paper and he hands it to you.
I take one hand, my other hand still got the tankard of ale,
Mm-hmm.
and I flatten the paper onto the counter. You know what I mean?
It should be in your inventory now.
To make it a little bit more legible, and I pick it up and read it to myself.
All right.
Um,
It's in your inventory now.
yeah, I see. I'm looking at it now,
Okay, cool.
and so I look at it, kind of puzzled. And how is it lit in here? Is it lit by torches or from just sunlight pouring through the sky?
Yeah, it's all
breaking-
natural light.
Okay, so I kind of hold it in a sunbeam, trying to understand it, because it doesn't really make much sense, frankly. So I turn to the barkeep and I say, "What the hell is this?"
He says to you, I was told if a trog might want to earn the honor of their tribe, there's a person in the guild pack's office who's looking for help. He put out a call for a few warriors, and I was told you have skills that might be needed for the job.
Well, I guess I give it a shot. And then I finish my beer, slam the tankard down, the metal clatters against the wood, and I say, "Barkeep, how about another beer?"
He says, the first one is free for nomads, but you'll have to pay for the second.
How much?
Ooh, we didn't talk about money. We'll just use regular. I'll switch between Xenos. Xenos are like gold. So they're copper Xenos and gold Xenos, and it's the same.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So he just tells you it's like 2 copper.
That's not too bad.
Thank you, thank you.
I fit I kind of fish around, in my side bag. I have a small messenger bag, and I take out the 2 coppers. I kind of look at them. It's been a long time since I've actually paid for anything, so I kind of awkwardly flip them down onto the table. So, as I lift the second tankard of ale, the foam slips down my lips and over my I'm a sloppy drinker.
And I want to pause you right there.
Sure.
Because I think we're gonna end this scene and we're gonna move on to the next. But what I want you to do is just kind of tell me you're sitting there, but what do you look like? What do we see as we kind of pull away from you having your other beers and relaxing?
So it's like kind of funny because like from the barkeep's point of view, I just look like a normal person, like with like my elbows up on the counter and a beer. Except the camera pans upward, like above my eye line, and you see these two huge horns sticking out to the left and to the right, about a foot and a half each way. And then the camera pans behind me, and you see like this horse body sort of protruding out from behind where I'm sitting, 6 feet or so, however long my body is. I'm a brown horse body. I have a brown horse body with a blonde mane and a blonde tail, right? Over my torso, which is sort of the only human part of me, I have these like what's it called? It's like how do I describe this? Like two thick leather shoulder pads that like wrap around my body and make like a leather cuirass, right? And then underneath I wear like just a simple cotton tank top.
All right. So, over on a different side of Precinct 4, and actually, Jerry, can you give me the way that I should pronounce your character's name?
Yes, it's 4 syllables. Venetia.
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 Okay.
It's like Venice, but Venetia. Yeah.
Okay. So Venetia is over with her troupe preparing for a performance at one of the many pain halls owned by Rakdos. A lithe, raven-haired young man is standing in the shadows, watching with rapt attention as his sister begins her practice. And I would like for you to let them know what that practice looks like.
Okay. I actually wrote a little something for this.
Perfect.
I didn't know it was practice, but I guess it makes sense.
Or performance, or a practice for another show.
So, on stage is a young half-elf female of average build, long black hair, and green eyes. On her head is a nicely decorated top hat. Her red and black outfit doesn't leave too much to the imagination, if you get my drift. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Cavalcaded Calamity. How are you all on this fine day? And because it's practice, no one speaks. That's wonderful to hear. Thankfully, we're just getting started. Coming out from the curtain is a male assistant who is carrying what looks to be a large hula hoop, but has typical Rakdos elements, black, chains, demonesque, etc., along with a tray. He gives the hula hoop to the half-elf and places the tray on the floor. She places her hat down, goes inside the wheel, and does a simple performance. That looks kind of like this.
Let's see.
Of spinning and twirling acrobatic feats. After some time, she ends that part of the performance. I recommend you mute it. Music's not fantastic. You'll find in life that you are capable of much. What seems impossible or painful will allow you to reach even greater heights. She pulls out a sharpened metal pole from the tray, roughly a foot or so long, and slowly inserts it into her left thigh perpendicular to her leg. Taking 5 points of damage.
Oh.
Ow.
How indeed.
Then,
Sorry? Then she does the same performance, but you can clearly see the difference between the two acts. What was a simple curve previously is now much closer, since there's about 6 inches of metal to either side of her. Finally, her performance ends. Limits are just in your head. You can do a lot more than you think. Once you break your limit, you'll find more in your path. Then, you smash those just like the others that were in your way. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. She takes a deep bow, walks off the stage with all of her equipment, and has the pole in her leg.
All right.
So, did you stab yourself in the leg?
Yep, essentially.
Ouch.
As you finish, you head back and you begin to pack up your things.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that, your trunk that you carry all of your fun items in, there's a small letter.
Oh, I pick it up.
All right.
Is there any address of who it might be from?
It just says V.
I take out my small knife that I have and open it up, using it as a letter opener.
Okay. You should recognize the handwriting. And also, if the font is bad, you can scroll down and read it in plain text.
I saw. Thank you. She has a bright smile on her face as she's reading through this.
All right.
Well, I know what my plans are for tonight.
And we leave her packing up. So, in our next sequence, what we see are a multitude of lab attendants standing at desks working on various projects. A series of small circuits and bells and whistles go off one by one as a small envelope passes through a pneumatic tube and lands on Little Spot's desk. It's from your boss, and he would like you in his office.
So, Little Spot gets up. Tongue looks out, looks over one eye, picks up the envelope, and goes, okay, and sort of trots off down the hallway towards the boss's desk, or the boss's office, as it is.
As you arrive, you can see a rather grim look on his face. It's Coin Smith again. He's calling in a favor.
Oh no. What happened?
He
What did I
hands
do?
he hands you the letter. He goes, well, for one, he says you haven't been responding to him.
I mean, maybe? I don't know. I lose track of time. Maybe this sort of pulls down these big goggles over his eyes. I've not been dodging his attempts at communication. What are you talking about? What the place? What? Oh, right. Okay, that's a lot of money. Oh, that's a lot of money. You sure they don't want oral for this? Sure he's asking for me?
He's asking for, yes, it's your name on the letter.
I know, but still, it's a little weird. Okay, I'll do
You
it.
made the deal with him.
You can't blame me for that.
Listen, I'll be leaving soon, but as far as this letter's concerned, please don't be late.
I can't promise that either. Okay, bye. I turn around, quickly sort of skitters off.
And we'll leave that one simply as well.
What was your name, Stephen? For some reason, it muted for me.
Oh, everyone's calling him Little Spot.
Okay.
But if you'd like to call him by his name, what does it sound like, Steven?
It is Thibblethip. He was named after a homunculus.
Thibblethip?
Onomatopoeia, got it.
Yep. For the record, I should point out that Little Spot is maybe about 2.5 feet tall and is a bright blue with orange spotted gecko. He's wearing a bright blue and red. Is it sort of doublet with these giant poofy sleeves with his ornate sort of embroidery on the blue parts, and he's covered in tools and dirt.
I love it.
More soot than dirt, like experimental. Not like rolling in the dirt. More like this thing over here I was building exploded.
Mm.
Looney Tunes level of soot dirt kind of thing.
All right. And for our last member, Sigum, after a morning rotation of patrolling Sector 4 in the 10th District, you return to your platoon's guild hall, known fondly as the Sun Home. It's home to many Boros Legion soldiers of your rank. It's an imposing structure that is a fortress, includes barracks and also a spiritual center for Boros Legion. Legend has it that Sunhome is impregnable and no one dares attempt to break in. It stands on the edge of Precinct 4 as a sign of Boros' might. What do you do when you get back to Sunhome?
So Seagum is going to kind of loosen up his joints. It's been a pretty long patrol. He heads right to the locker room, maybe passes by a couple familiar faces, gives a couple nods of acknowledgement, and is already anxious to get out of this heavy armor and just unwind a little bit with his friend at the Woozy Wyvern. And he enters the locker room and he kind of puts that kink in his arm, and he approaches his locker.
Right. As soon as you open up your locker, a small gray envelope falls to the floor.
His right ear gives a little twitch, and then he stoops down to pick it up.
It is typed on Boros paper with a Boros watermark. It is not signed, but the envelope is addressed to Sigum V.
Okay, let's take a look. He just kind of grunts, not really sure what to make of this. But he folds it carefully, puts it in his pack, and continues on like nothing happened.
Okay. And so what I did want to do is I realized that none of you all rolled for any sort of money that you might have. So I want to give you this opportunity to do, now that you have the information that you have, to 1, you can roll for money, and 2, you can gather any sort of purchases you might think you'll need before dusk.
All right. How much are we rolling for money?
Level 1.
So
remember, what is that? Gosh, I always forget.
Well, when you created the character, it was either you start with the starting equipment or you get the roll for it.
And I'll let you have something. Because
Well,
we don't have any dedicated healers.
Yeah.
Actually, I can heal. Little Spot has healing.
Sweet.
Are we using the player's guides version for rolling for money?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay.
Alright, I will not say no to more money. It's, yeah, minus 5 before 10. Then.
Say it again, Steve. 5d4. Oh, okay.
That's mine. 5d4 times 10.
Oh, I see. Is that under
Because I'm using the new Unearthed Arcana for the Artificer. So it has its rules built into it. The other classes don't have it written there, I don't think.
Okay, so where could we find? Because I only had like a 2 Xeno starting gold for Boros. I'm not sure where to find that.
I think it's at the start of the equipment chapter in the player's handbook.
Mm. In the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica or the regular?
In the regular one. Which class were you?
Paladin.
So for your starting equipment is 5d4 times 10.
5d4 times 10. Okay, thanks.
I took
Jerry.
Yes. I took the background stuff and the class stuff, so I don't need to roll.
Oh, okay. You're good?
Yep.
Wait, I think. Hold on, let me look at my character sheet. I think I also took the class stuff.
Me as well.
I didn't take the background stuff though.
If you
Because
take the class stuff, you basically already have the background stuff. Alternatively, from that 2 package, you can roll wealth on the table.
Actually, you know what? I think I would rather roll for money because I never did that before.
Okay. And you are a barbarian?
So it's 2d4 times 10.
See.
Are you a barbarian?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So a yes-mad, not a nomad.
Damn it! That's not funny, Jerry. That's not funny. Let me see.
So, Jerry, you feel like you have everything ready for whatever you think you need to do?
Yeah, I got the stuff. And I've already bought one thing. So I think I should be fine.
Oh, right. Yeah, so this is going to be not plus what we have.
No, it's either. It's a choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm making sure.
40 gold. Nice.
I'll stick with the background, but I'd like to ask for one item, and I'll whisper roll it to you now, Brittany.
Okay.
Right, sent.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, I need a second to get this in here.
Is that in the book?
No, I just figured, like, police force, probably useful thing to have when you're getting a perp, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Handcuffs?
Well, yeah, pretty much handcuffs.
Would be manacles is what you'd look for.
Mm-hmm,
That
exactly.
would be within a handbook.
Yep.
I feel like that would be in the things that you would have for your job duties. Whether
Yes.
you use them outside of work, I don't know if that's good or not.
Whoa. Let's not dig into his bedroom, you know.
I wasn't talking about that.
I will say straight up, manacles and handcuffs are canon for Ravnica.
Okay.
Common clothes, 5 gold, and 5 GP and 5 gold.
Is it Sikkim?
So Seagum. Like,
Oh, okay.
I'll say it in his voice, Seagum Vala.
Could you spell that, please?
I can. One moment. And I got the phonetic one as well.
I didn't realize that the different packs are so various in their cost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's basically set up to be as much as what the items would be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you get a pack.
Which, side note, shouldn't there be a discount if you buy all the items together in a pack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
I feel like I should make that adjustment eventually.
Honestly, I really want to either find a good homebrew item or write one that is just expanded starter packs.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many other more interesting ones you could have.
Right. Just let me know when everybody has what you feel you need.
I'm gonna fix this. There it is.
So, I accounted for the things that I have for my backstory. And then I don't really buy anything in the story at this point. I just have I bought the stuff that I have.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a net, a longsword,
Who's in that?
explorers, a net.
Yeah,
Like a
who's
throwing net?
Yeah, who is she?
Oh, Jesus, Steve.
Oh.
I'd say go home, but you're already home.
I don't really even have the net for like an in-game purpose. I just thought that, since I've been living on the edge, that I would have a net to catch animals to kill and stuff.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
A longsword, and I bought an explorer's pack because it's the cheapest one.
I bought a playing card set and 50 feet of hempen rope.
Always handy.
All sorts of uses for rope.
Exactly. Some for performance, some for pleasure.
It's like I'm not sure if you've ever read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but
Yes.
always have a towel.
Always bring your towel.
All right, is everybody ready?
Almost. I need 1 second.
Okay.
While he's getting ready, could I give a quick description of Seagum?
Oh,
As
sure,
he's kind
absolutely.
Sure thing. So as he's kind of, realizing he probably should keep on his armor, but he'll grab a quick shower beforehand. You see, Seagum is, as I scroll, okay, a minotaur with light brown hair, save his white streak down the center of his head, and 2 hazel eyes. He stands at 6'4", stout, with well-defined muscles showing beneath his armor. 2 cream-colored horns curve up sharply 2 feet from his forehead. He's wearing plain chainmail covered by this fiery crimson tabard, displaying the Boros Legion insignia in stark white at the chest level. A hand axe and quarterstaff are secured to his pack, along with this small kind of oval shield that would just cover his forearm. That's pretty much all he's carrying.
All right.
I need to test something out. Tell me if this works.
All right.
Actually, I should probably buy common clothes. Yeah, buy common clothes.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey,
I should have set this up before, but I forgot that I had spells. I'm trying to put Chaos Bolt into as a spell thing. Do you know how to do that? Considering it's roll 1d8 and then it's random damage.
yes, if you go to spells,
Yeah.
the gear,
Okay.
there's an option that says output below, above the description.
Yeah.
Change it from spell card to attack.
Yeah. But it's on its own. It has a natural roll 1d8 and it deals that much damage. Oh, I guess I can put that in. Okay, I see what I can do. And then it's going to do 2d8. Okay. One, 6, and then I have to choose that. Okay, this is a fucking weird spell.
Mm-hmm. Because it changes damage type, I believe.
That's the best kind
So
of
this
stuff.
is how it goes. On a hit, the target takes 2d8 plus 1d6 damage. Choose one of the d8s. The number rolled on that die determines the attack's damage type is shown below. And there's a chart. If you roll the same number on both d8s, the energy leaps from one target to a different one within 30 feet of it. Make a new attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
This could cause it to leap again. Okay, this spell's fucking crazy. Okay, I think I got it though.
Mm-hmm. It is chaos in its name.
It is.
Sounds interesting.
It sounds potential to wipe my own party with bad rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm good to go. I could see you rolling Bailey and it just jumps to every fucking party member and kills them all.
Let's hope not. But at the appointed time, you find yourself gathered with other like-minded individuals outside the front door to the functional and unremarkable Sawtooth Prison. Light rain begins to patter on the cobblestones as the sun sets behind the spires and towers of the city. You see a male Vidalcan in well-tailored clothes approach your group from around the side of the prison. His deep blue face bears a gentle but concerned expression. He raises his hand to hail you and speaks in a low tone as his eyes take in the group and the nearby environment. Are you here to help?
Depends on what we're helping with.
Go ahead, Steve.
Depends on what we're helping with.
Segan will kind of size the whole group up and say, "You do realize who you brought together, right?"
together. Speak for yourself.
He kind of sneers at you. We're here to save a man's life. What's this all about?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I am here because someone told me to be here.
He looks kind of confused at you, Sam, by what you said. But he kind of tells you all to come closer. He says, I'm Nashus Sven. I work for the office of the Guild Pack.
Could you spell that, please?
Oh, you know what? There you go.
Nice.
Very cool.
That is Nashus Sven. And that is the best picture of Vidalkin I could find. Because they all
cool.
looked so weird.
Okay, weird.
Well, see, I wanted him because it also shows you that he's a noble. So it's like he's not just a regular old schmo. But that is him. And he pulls out a piece of paper and he hands it to... I'm going to say he hands it to Seagum.
Okay.
He says, I put out some feelers into the community for people of a particular kinds of skills. With the retrieval of a convict who got loose from before sunrise this morning. He escaped during transfer to Udzek Maximum Security Prison, where he would have spent the rest of his life. His name is Krenko, and he is the boss of the largest goblin gang on Foundry Street. We moved him because he incited several riots here that led to the death of several inmates and guards. The warden decided that she had had enough and put in the transfer. Normally, we let Azorius deal with this kind of situation, but we suspect he's had some help from another guild, and I would like to investigate this connection before it leads to a larger problem. I need him back, and I need him alive, so that he can be fully interrogated and kept off the street for good. I am prepared to give you...
Go ahead.
I'm prepared to give you each 10 Xenos to cover any expenses you might incur while capturing him. And upon delivery, you would receive 100 and my gratitude, which I would convey to your guild leaders for aiding the Office of Guild Pack.
Sounds good to me. I'm sorry. Can I ask you to repeat something, please?
Sure.
So little Spot's gonna pull out like a little cup or what's it and sort of like tinker with a screwdriver quickly and go, can you repeat your name and title, please?
My name is Nashus Sven, and I am the current stand-in for the Guild Pack.
And he takes the screwdriver. Thank you!
So
Can
if
you
we
spell his name for me so I know for the recording?
Was that to everyone else?
I just recorded all that, but I need to know his name so I can spell it.
There you go.
Sorry.
So if we interrogate him for you and we will get extra gold and renown for saving you all that dirty business.
You are absolutely not to interrogate him. In fact, I would rather you not speak with him at all. That is my job as proctor while the Living Guild Pack is away, to handle things in a subdued way that will not cause dishonor to the Guild Pact. Not to mention, Krenko is far cleverer than most goblins and a very manipulative. Even I don't intend to interrogate him alone.
What was his racket before all this started?
He ran...
Protection? Drugs?
Excuse me while I look at my own dossier so I can remember.
I mean, you don't know Krenko? I thought everyone knew Krenko. I thought everyone in the Boris knew Krenko. Why don't you know who Krenko is? He's famous.
A little bit new to the Boros.
He's one of...
We're getting new Boris. Great.
Many troublemakers.
It might be too late. I want to do like an insight on whether they were telling the truth about like his crimes and that he escaped, but is it too late to do that?
Sure, you can do it.
And on that note, can I make an insight check to see if this guy's actually new to Boros or not?
Oof.
You, you can tell it seems like he's being honest. Seeker.
Okay. You don't have to roll deception. So, Seagum, while he's been trained a lot, he's like a bit new to the force. So he's like very eager to learn. I think he would have graduated the academy maybe. What did I have my backstory?
Like you said, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. If he should have known Krenko, that's my bad. I probably didn't read too deep enough into the lore, but
I think as someone that patrols this area, if you've ever been called to head over to where the goblins or cops are constantly fighting, you'd run into... You would know who he is. You might not know him exactly, but he commands a large crew of goblins that just ruin things.
gotcha. Okay.
It's like kind of like knowing that, like the head of the mafia, like the cops know who runs the fucking mafia in your city.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
He looks at you and he goes, Krenko has many enemies, but the ones you should be aware of are the Shattergang brothers. They're his biggest threat. They're a rival gang, and they specialize in illegal weapons. But they mainly want him dead because he killed their youngest brother. And,
regardless of what everyone says, he is it or not giving them the weapons. Don't listen to anyone that says that. It's a lie. It's slander.
What exactly do you mean by illegal weapons?
they're generally weapons that are magically modified by a few rogue Izzet scientists. And he says scientists exactly that way. As you can see, there is a rogue Izzet that we are looking for named Faelish. Should you give us information on that, we would be most happy.
Are you sweating there in your little lab coat? What's the matter?
Excuse me?
You seem a bit nervous, friend.
I just don't like people slandering my guild. We do very good things for this city. You'd be in an outhouse if it wasn't for me.
Parts of it that don't blow up, that is, right?
Look, there hasn't been a toilet that exploded in at least 3 months in the city, okay?
And if we encounter any of these illegal weapons, I suppose we're to hand them over to you, correct?
I would assume you would hand them over to your Boros companion.
If they're illegal Izzet weapons, you hand over the Izzet so we can destroy them properly. The Boros won't, and then they'll cause more problems.
I suppose if you wanted to streamline the process, that is normally what happens.
Do you have any information about his whereabouts or the whereabouts of this Shadow Game Brothers that might know his location? To get back on the topic of hand.
Well, he was being transferred by several guards who have all been thoroughly interrogated about how they lost him. So I can tell you what they told me. They were traveling by horse. Krenko was in manacles, and a swarm of centipedes burst out of a nearby sewer and overwhelmed them. The guards were all knocked unconscious with the venomous bites, and when the guards did not reach their destination in time, a party was sent to find them. When they were revived, obviously Krenko was gone, and there's been no sign of him since. We are assuming he's trying to secure some sort of safe passage out of the 10th district.
Venomous bites?
Well, you know what lurks in the sewers.
Yeah, so, what are we looking at, Golgari? Are we looking at Vashina? What are we looking at?
As I said, we think he had some sort of help from another guild. Maybe. Who knows? As far as your other question about areas, Shattergang likes to hang out on Tin Street. So, that could be a place of interest for you. They've claimed pretty much all of it as their turf.
That makes sense. I have a question.
Yes?
Why is there a clown with us?
You look in. She doesn't have her performance gear, her costume. She has like very fancy, similar design leather armor.
But is it clearly like Rakdos?
Clearly Rakdos, yes. Very
Yeah.
red and black. Yeah, very nicely done. But yes.
That does not change the question.
You ask a lot of questions.
Yes, I do. I'm very curious. I also don't want to get stabbed. So why is there a clown with us?
Same reasons as you are here.
You won't
Maybe add a little bit more fun to your answer.
To be
I'm
frank,
sure-
I don't think we're here for the same reasons at all.
Ow.
I'm sure the clown can hold her own, and if she can't, she'll just die.
Firstly, my name is Venetia Horneth, not Clown. I would appreciate if you call me either Ven or Venetia, whatever you prefer.
Okay,
Just
Murder
not
Girl.
Clown.
That's fine, Murder Girl.
Didn't
What?
nobody ever teach you manners, the lizard man?
I mean, I thought they were all trying to take after Murder Girl. I mean, it seems like every Rakdos girl that comes around is trying to take after the serial killer. I don't know.
I suggest that you think more and talk less.
I can guarantee you, I think a lot.
Then think more.
Are there any other questions before I need to leave?
Do you have any idea which guild is helping them?
Not at all. That would be why you're being hired.
It seems a little odd, if I can say so, that that you decided to call together our guilds instead of calling the Azorius, who you seem to be against calling. That seems a little weird. Do you respect the Azorius in helping him out? Why would they do that? He's very much against the law.
I do not expect anything of them, but they are duty-bound to inform many should they learn things during this process. I didn't select specific people to help me.
Oh, I see. And you're not associated with any guild. You're with the Guild Pact.
I am with the Office of Guild Pact.
Okay.
I am the proctor while Jace is away.
Would we know anything about this guild pact?
Yes.
Is that like the neutral zone?
The Guild Pact is essentially the living embodiment of the law.
Yeah.
And so anything that Jace, his last name is Bellerin,
Yes.
says becomes an actual law. The thing is, he is a planeswalker, and he very much enjoys not being in Ravnica.
But Vinia is normally his contact when he's not there.
For the time being, it seems to be other people in the office handle issues that come up as they arise.
So it's not like the neutral zone. It's more like if the Geneva Convention was a living telepath.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty neat.
So when Jace decides that something is against the law in Ravnica, it is magically binding.
Interesting.
Nope. And that was set in place a very long time ago in order to keep the guilds from basically going to war and destroying the entire planet.
Like 10,000 years ago, I believe?
Yeah, very long time ago.
Before we head on, Segan will turn to Nashus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say, so, this all reeks of corruption. Any concern with sharing this information with our own guilds? Is this to be kept hush-hush, or... It all seems shifty, to be honest.
Well, hopefully it is not that convoluted. You can maybe determine who helped him, and we can handle handing out punishment as seen fit by the Guild Pact office. Also, one other thing I did forget to mention. When you find him, you are to bring him to a Salisanaya granary at the edge of the district, the ones that were damaged by the Gruul raid. There, I and my guards will take him into custody.
Can you spell that, please?
Oh, which one? Salasnaya?
The Yeah, the location we're supposed to drop him off at.
Okay. So, have I made the maps available for you to look at?
Yes.
Okay,
It looks like a swamp card.
Okay, we'll pull up. Yeah. Do precinct 4.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, I don't know what just happened. I'm pulling up the map right now.
I said I'm testing.
It's probably going to be on the edge of the Red Wastes.
Okay.
It's an area that was once owned by the Selesnya. And they made food and whatnot and put it there, and the Gruul just decided to destroy it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna add that I changed my profile picture on here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, reload the thing if we want to see it.
Reload.
Very cool.
But yes, this does seem rife with potentials for negative things that would look bad on our office. So hopefully this won't be too terrible. We can get him back to where he's supposed to be. I can figure out, if you can't figure it out, we can interrogate him to figure out who helped him and why. And then head back and have everything be fine by tomorrow.
If it keeps the peace, it keeps the peace.
Exactly as I say.
I have an important question.
Yes?
So he's not supposed to die. We're not supposed to kill him, blow him up, any of that?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. I'm pretty sure 3 of the people here would do that immediately, so let's get that in our heads. Don't kill the goblin.
I already asked that question.
Which 3 were you referring to, lizard man?
You, her, and her.
You're a bad judge of character.
I've seen Boreas ride before. I know what you do.
I only kill things that deserve to die.
Speaking of which, never caught your name.
My name's Cambria, sir. Nice to see another fuzzy character, I guess. I sort of limply shake your hand.
He'll like actually forcefully grasp your forearm and like in an enthusiastic way and kind of give a chuckle like you are like.
Even though like I'm larger than probably Venetia and Little Spot.
Little
Like-
spot's about, like, up to your knee.
Yeah. Even though I'm larger than each of them, like you are way larger than me. So like I'm probably like slightly intimidated just by your sheer size because I'm used to being like the big one around.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it's nice to
How
meet.
tall are you, too?
I'm 6'4".
Let me see how tall a horse would be. How tall a horse would be.
You're pretty big.
I'm gonna say, when he looks that up, Little Spot's gonna walk over and extend his hand almost straight up. We didn't ever introduce ourselves. I missed it. What's up?
Oh, I reach down. I bend down as much as my horse body allows me, and I shake your tiny hand with like 2 fingers, 3 fingers.
I'm Thibbleton. You can call me Little Spot, but if you go to the guild hall and need me, you should ask for Oral.
I will keep that in mind. Companion.
Oral?
Orrel.
I turn to Phoenicia and I say,
Phoenicia.
apologies. I did not mean to call you a clown.
Oh, no. No, there's no offense on my part. It's quite fine. It's just a reputation I have. You just have to deal with it sometimes.
Believe me, I know what it means to be shortchanged as far as one station goes.
I'd love to hear more about it. When
Not
the time
today.
comes, not in this location.
Yeah, folks, she's gonna stab you.
Might I ask
Do you also
what
realize
you
that?
might I ask what you prefer us to call you? Are you an entertainer?
An entertainer, an acrobatist, a performer. My job title is fluid. Just call me Venetia, please.
Oh, but titles are important, are they not?
Of organizations, yes. But what someone's down to, their identity, that's less important in my experience.
I'll call you an acrobat for now, if you don't mind.
I don't. Just not clown. Or murderer.
Not murderer, murderer girl.
How about serial killer?
No, murder girl is the name of is the famous reckless murderer that you all try to. You even have the outfit. Come on.
Was it Sigum?
Seagum.
Sigum, pardon me. Are you aware that I've ever been in your prison and charged with murder?
Sunhome's a big place. Lots of do-batters, as we say. I can personally say I've never seen you before, but some of your friends once blew up a gambling hall I was near. That was a good time.
It sounds like it was.
I can actually help with that, since this is the prison for Precinct 4. And I don't think you've ever been here.
Thank you very much, darling.
But I will leave you to get acquainted. I will head back to the office of Gilpact and simply send a message, and I will meet you when it is, if you have completed your objective.
If we have any more questions, can we write a letter to your office? May we?
Sure.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. And with that, Ignatius walks off, leaving you standing there.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I need to test something when he walks away. After he's gone, hold on a second. I'm going to pull out this little copper and I'm going to press a button on it. It's going to go, "My name is Ignatius Fenn. I am the stand-in for the Guild Pact." Perfect. It works. Put it back in his pocket. You ever need that? It's there.
What was that?
It's a magical recording.
And why would we need that?
Who knows?
I'm not a big fan of your personality, but I love your inventions.
Oh, thank you. My personality grows on people, I think.
Like fungus.
Like a tumor.
God, I hope I'm not like the Golgari. I don't like zombies. Not at all. So, where are we going to start? As you slap his hands together, you watch as his hands stick together for a second. You
It seems the best bet would be Tin Street, no?
Yes, I am quite curious about the Shadow Gang brothers.
Do we not want to go in and take a look at the cell or anything like that? See if you can find any clues there?
He wasn't kidding. We listened to anything that man was saying. He was kidnapped in transit, not from his cell.
No, I wasn't actually. Okay. Do we know what?
Jesus.
Who's that?
Oh, I have to switch gods. I forgot about that. I'll figure that out later.
There are no. The only gods in Ravnica are actually the Church of Orzhov.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Orzhov.
It'd be like Orzovia Dammit or something like that.
I mean, I can't just say Aurelia because she's like, yeah. I'll figure it out.
You could absolutely do that. The angels technically are divine beings that are created.
Okay.
By the way, can I see if Venetia is still hurt? Like, is that a visible wound?
It's been like covered up by like wounds, but there was no blood.
Like, so like if I take a look at her, I can't see it. Like, there's no limp or anything.
It's maybe a medicine check or something.
No, he's not gonna. He's not gonna be like taking a close look to examine for it. But I'm just curious if it's something easily spotted.
Yeah, I think this is just like if someone looked at you, could they tell you stabbed yourself a couple hours ago?
There'd be no blood.
Like, are you limping? Is something like that noticeable?
No. She's fine. She's not bloodied. She has more of
would there
half
be
of
a
it.
gas?
Yeah, raptors can take pain. That's a
Probably used to this kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.